Jimmy Carter, a century of service, humanity, and enduring legacy. Jimmy Carter, the 39th President of the United States, passed away peacefully at his home in Plains, Georgia, on Sunday, surrounded by family. He was 100 years old, marking the end of a remarkable life that spanned a century of service, humanitarian work, and unwavering commitment to peace and justice. Carter's son, Chip Carter, expressed the family's grief and pride in a heartfelt statement. "My father was a hero, not only to me, but to everyone who believes in peace, human rights, and unselfish love. The world is our family because of the way he brought people together. We thank you for honoring his memory by continuing to live these shared beliefs." Public observances are planned in Atlanta and Washington, D.C., followed by a private interment in Plains, Georgia. President Joe Biden declared January 9th a national day of mourning, ordering flags at federal facilities to fly at half-staff for 30 days in Carter's honor. Biden's tribute to a statesman of decency. President Biden described Carter as a man of character, courage, and compassion, and one of the most influential statesmen in U.S. history. In televised remarks, Biden said, "Jimmy Carter lived a life measured not by words, but by his deeds. We would all do well to be a little more like him." Biden highlighted Carter's humility and moral clarity, which inspired generations. He also acknowledged Carter's extraordinary humanitarian work, both during and after his presidency, calling him a heroic champion of global peace and human rights, a life of service and humanity. Born on October 1st, 1924, in Plains, Georgia, Jimmy Carter was the son of a peanut farmer. Despite his humble beginnings, he excelled academically, graduating with distinction from the U.S. Naval Academy in 1946. That same year, he married Rosalind Smith, beginning a partnership that would last 77 years until Rosalind's death in November 2023. After 7 years in the Navy, Carter returned to Georgia to run the family peanut farm. His career shifted to politics, and he was elected governor of Georgia in 1970. Carter's emphasis on racial equality and traditional values distinguished him as a new kind of Southern leader. In 1976, he captured the presidency during America's bicentennial year, defeating Gerald Ford. As president, Carter created the Departments of Energy and Education, established formal diplomatic ties with China, and returned control of the Panama Canal to Panama. His crowning achievement was the Camp David Accords, a historic peace treaty between Israel and Egypt that showcased his commitment to diplomacy. However, Carter's presidency faced significant challenges, including an energy crisis, high inflation, and the Iran hostage crisis. These issues overshadowed his accomplishments and contributed to his defeat in the 1980 election. Post-presidency, a legacy of humanitarianism. After leaving office, Carter embarked on an extraordinary second act as a global humanitarian. He and Rosalind founded the Carter Center in Atlanta, focusing on advancing peace, democracy, and public health worldwide. Their work ranged from monitoring elections to eradicating diseases like guinea worm and river blindness. In 2002, Carter was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his decades of humanitarian efforts. In his acceptance speech, he said, "We can choose to alleviate suffering. We can choose to work together for peace. We can make these changes, and we must." The Carters also dedicated over 30 years to Habitat for Humanity, helping build homes for those in need. Carter's hands-on approach, even into his 90s, inspired many. Zakir Hussain, the tabla maestro who bridged worlds of music. Zakir Hussain, the globally celebrated tabla virtuoso, passed away on December 15th in San Francisco at 73. His demise was attributed to idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, a rare lung disease. Hussain was renowned for his remarkable dexterity, sensitivity, and innovation on the tabla, earning him the title of one of the greatest percussionists of his generation. Through groundbreaking collaborations, he introduced the rhythmic nuances of Indian classical music to global audiences, creating a legacy that resonates across cultures. A rhythmic beginning, Hussein's journey with music began remarkably early. As he often humorously remarked, "It was a conspiracy. I wasn't part of it." When he was just 2 days old, his father, the legendary tabla maestro Alla Raka, sang complex rhythms into his ear. For Alla Raka, these rhythms were as sacred as prayers, deeply rooted in spiritual traditions. By the age of 7, Hussein began formal lessons with his father. These lessons were unconventional, starting at 3 a.m., often leaving him drowsy at school. But his passion was evident as he practiced relentlessly, drumming on school benches when not dozing off. By his teenage years, he was accompanying India's top classical musicians, including the legendary sitarist Ravi Shankar, who honored him with the title Ustad, a revered designation for virtuosos. An eclectic path, Hussein's musical ambitions transcended boundaries. His father's exposure to jazz and psychedelic rock left an indelible mark on him. From the streets of Mumbai, where he blasted the Doors' "Light My Fire" on his boombox, to the studios of Marin County, California, his journey was one of constant exploration. In 1970, Hussein arrived in the U.S. and found himself at the heart of a cultural revolution. Mickey Hart, drummer for the Grateful Dead and a student of Alla Raka, introduced him to the vibrant world of rock and experimental music. Hussein's adaptability was astounding. Hart described him as the Mozart of his instrument, effortlessly blending Indian classical traditions with Western influences. Together, they transformed the Grateful Dead's approach to rhythm, introducing intricate patterns and time signatures that became integral to their music. The global tabla, Hussein's collaborations, extended far beyond rock music. In 1973, he co-founded Shakti, a groundbreaking fusion group, with jazz guitarist John McLaughlin. Over the years, he performed with artists like Yo-Yo Ma, Herbie Hancock, Van Morrison, and Earth, Wind, Fire. His contributions to George Harrison's 1973 album, Living in the Material World, were pivotal in elevating the tabla's global recognition. Despite his successes, Hussein remained committed to his roots. Critics in India initially disapproved of his forays into Western music. Even his father expressed reservations. Yet Hussein balanced his global collaborations with regular performances of traditional Indian classical music, earning immense respect from his peers and fans alike. A humble innovator, Hussein's humility endeared him to everyone he worked with. Bela Fleck, the acclaimed banjo player, recounted how Hussein seamlessly balanced his roles as a revered maestro and a collaborative partner. On their visits to India, Hussein's divine status among fans was evident, yet he remained grounded. He was a god for a little while, but always came back as the Zakir we knew, Fleck fondly recalled. Hussein's ability to innovate extended to composition. Collaborating with Fleck and Edgar Meyer, he co-wrote a triple concerto for tabla, banjo, and double bass. His mastery of rhythm and deep understanding of music allowed him to find solutions to complex compositional challenges, further cementing his reputation as a genius. Honors and legacy. Hussein's contributions were recognized with multiple Grammys, including 2 in 2024 for his collaborations with Fleck and Shakti. These accolades, however, were just a reflection of his larger impact on the world of music. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi praised him as a true genius who revolutionized the world of Indian classical music. Through his work, Hussein brought the tabla to the global stage, ensuring its enduring legacy in both Indian and world music. A life in rhythm, Zakir Hussein's life was a testament to his belief that music could transcend barriers. From the early days of tapping rhythms on school benches to mesmerizing audiences with his dazzling performances, he remained true to his mission of making the tabla speak all the languages of rhythm on the planet. As the world mourns his loss, Hussein's music continues to inspire, reminding us of the limitless possibilities of cultural exchange and the unifying power of rhythm.